Hello, friends, and welcome to the new year. If you are anything like me, you get really fired up about goal setting and just that fresh start that comes with the new year, but it can often feel a little overwhelming or a little like I want to set goals, but I'm not quite sure if I can follow through on them. Have you ever been there? So, maybe you're like me and you've had started an exercise routine on your, goal list for the last 5 years and you have always started one but never finished it, right? But a few years ago, I realized that the way I was setting goals was just kind of ambiguous, like, hey, what do I want to do this year? Let's make a list of those things. And instead of doing that, where it's really easy to just um kind of fall off track by, I don't know, halfway through January, February, I realized that the way I'd always been doing it was not working. I was trying to do way too many things at once instead of focusing all my energy in one direction. And so that year, this was a couple years ago now, I changed the way that I set my goals. I went from this big giant list of all the things I had to do into setting goals into two specific categories, just two. And doing that really helped me simplify and focus in on the actual things that I wanted to get done in a very specific way instead of this big giant list that I never actually got to. Um, so this way, I'm able to give just one or two things my full attention instead of, getting lost in that big giant list. So today, what I want to talk to you about is those two types of goals to set for the new year. And I don't necessarily mean you only need to set two goals, although you totally can. I am always a fan of less is more. But I really want to talk about two distinct categories that you can use when setting your goals and trying to figure out exactly what you really want to tackle in the year ahead. So I've discovered that I prefer to separate my goals into two distinct categories. And one of those categories is a project goal, and the other one is a habit goal. So let's talk about each one. A project goal is your traditional check it off goal. It can be written down once and checked off as soon as it's done. Project goals are self-contained. They have a specific beginning and an end point, and they're really just one and done. Like they don't need to bleed into your daily life, your weekly life. They are just a project that you want to tackle and finish. So examples of a project goal could be cleaning out a closet, organizing a room in your house from top to bottom, creating a photo album, or even like reading a book or reading 10 books. Like, you know exactly when you're going to start it. When it's done, you can say, okay, this is totally finished. I have done this. And you can completely check it off your list. It has a specific beginning and ending point. They are not ongoing tasks. All right. Those are project goals. Then we have our habit goals. Now, habit goals are really the opposite. They are ongoing tasks. They are daily, weekly tasks that we want to add into our lives, generally for our benefit or for the benefit of our family. They often line up with a skill that we're trying to develop or a character trait that we want to grow in ourselves or our families. They are ongoing. There is no specific beginning and end point. They are not just one and done. So often, these are things that we want to be incorporating into our lives. And it's very hard to be like, yep, I did that and check it off the list. So the habit goal is often smaller. It gives us a sense of progress only in this fact that we are able to check it off every day or every week that we accomplished it that day. But that doesn't mean that we're done with it because it is something we're adding into our lives. Does that make sense? So examples of habit goals could be something like reading your Bible each morning, could be starting a daily or a weekly exercise routine, completing one load of laundry every day, or reading a book at night before bed. All right. So really, I have found that our goals typically fall into one of these categories. Either it's a project goal where it's self-contained, one and done, I can start it, finish it, and check it off my list. Or it's a habit goal, something that is slower and ongoing that I want to add into my life on a daily basis. Now, sometimes project goals and habit goals do overlap. It's worth noting that this can happen, okay? For example, maybe your project goal is to lose 30 pounds by the end of the year. All right. You know when you're going to start, you know when you're going to finish, like when the end goal is, but also you know that after you've lost those 30 pounds, you can check it off your list. This is self-contained because it is a specific amount of time, a specific number of pounds that you would like to lose, but it's definitely a longer term project, right? You're not going to lose 30 pounds in a day. It's not going to happen. So, even though it's a project goal, it is definitely going to take us longer. So, it requires the support of some habit goals. So, maybe the person who wants to lose 30 pounds in a year also has supporting habit goals, such as committing to tracking your food on a daily basis, upping your water intake, creating that daily exercise routine. So these habit goals can support the big project goal that we're working toward. And so what's great about that is often the combination of project goals and habit goals serves a bigger focus. It serves a bigger focus in our lives. Excuse me. Sorry. So, this is often something larger that we're working toward, which is a long-term goal, right? Like losing 30 pounds or decluttering your entire house. Something like that that's really big, that is a project goal because you'll know when I'm done, I did that thing. Can often be supported with these habit goals that really help us align our focus for the year, for the goal, with our daily and weekly lives, so that we feel like the habits that we're doing every day really support my overarching goal of this one thing, whatever it might be. So we've got those habit goals or project goals, and we have the habit goals, and sometimes they do work together really well. But I just want to encourage you to start the year by thinking about these two categories. Separating my goals into project and habit goals has made a huge difference in goal setting and goal attaining for me because it's really simplified the way that I look at it. Now, this is not the only strategy that has helped with my goal setting. In fact, we are going to be talking about this for the next 4 weeks. So, well, this week plus 3 more weeks. So, all throughout the month of January, we are going to really dive into what I call setting anchored goals. That's goals that are anchored in the things that matter most to you. Priority-based goals that help you achieve something in line with what you highly, highly value. And so we're going to be talking about that for the next few weeks in video and on our website. And so I just want you to get started here in the idea of separating your project and your habit goals into these two categories. Now, I do have a freebie for you to help you with this. So we have our Anchored Goal Starter Pack, totally free, ready for you now. It has a few different worksheets in it, but the one that's really great for today is just a brain dump sheet of a place for you to really draw out what your project goals and what your habit goals may be for this year. Brain dump any ideas you have. And then in the next few weeks, we're going to talk about how to narrow those down, how to choose the goals that are right for you, and how to break those goals down in a way that allows you to truly sustain your practice of working on these goals throughout your days, your weeks, your month, and your year. So we have that freebie for you. It's ready. The link is below in the description, and I hope you head over to grab it, because I just created the starter pack for you, and I think that through all the worksheets and all the videos in the next month, it's really going to help you set realistic, attainable goals in these two categories that really inspire you and motivate you to actually align your daily and your weekly life with those things that matter the most. So, project goals and habit goals. So, I want you to think about that this week. Fill out the worksheets in your Anchored Goal Starter Pack as far as getting your project and your habit goals on paper. And we will be back next week to talk about some more goal setting strategies. Thanks so much, friends. See you then.